This is Ruthie on syndicatednews.net, and we're here with Orly Taitz. Orly Taitz has been working fervently on proving that President Obama's Social Security number is fraudulent and that he is actually not an American citizen. Am I expressing your sentiment correctly, Orly?
Well, let me just expand. It's not only the birth certificate. We have basically all of the documents that Obama has presented to the public were proven to be forgeries. Forged short-form birth certificate, forged long-form birth certificate, forged selective service certificate, fraudulently obtained Social Security number that he is using in his tax returns, which was never assigned to him according to governmental agencies such as E-Verify and SSNVS. And according to his mother's passport records, the last name that he is using is not even legally his. In his mother's passport records, he is listed under the name Obama Suibarka, last name being Suibarka. So bottom line, we have a criminal who is in the White House with the name that's not legally his, all forged IDs, stolen Social Security number. We are seeing an unprecedented level of corruption in the government among bureaucrats and some judges who are committing treason against the United States of America by covering up this forgery, fraud, and allowing a citizen of Indonesia, according to his school records, he's an Indonesian citizen, to usurp the position of the U.S. President and Commander-in-Chief.
Orly, where exactly are you claiming he was born?
I have provided the court statements made by high-ranking official, Minister of Land of the Republic of Kenya, who stated that Obama was born indeed in Kenya. I also provided the judges with Obama's biography that he personally forwarded to his publisher back in 1991 when he became a client of Dist Publishing House, and he provided his biography, and Dist was promoting his book. He wrote himself in his biography that he was born in Kenya and that he was raised in Indonesia. And all of his documents that we have show exactly the same. We show that he is using forged documents. His school records in Indonesia show him to be an Indonesian citizen because after he was born in Kenya, he came to this country. His mother remarried and they moved to Indonesia. And in order to go to a public school in Indonesia, he had to be an Indonesian citizen. So in his school records in Indonesia, he's listed as an Indonesian citizen.
Now, I remember the gentleman from Arizona, Arpaio, I think his name was. He was very...
Yes.
Ardently involved. What happened to him?
He provided an affidavit, and so did his chief investigator, Mike Zullo. Both affidavits state that Obama's birth certificate, selective service certificate, and a Social Security number fraudulently obtained and forged documents. And again, I provided this to our judges, and so far this has not been heard on the merits. So far the judge has been simply dismissing this case on technicalities, and right now I have 7 different cases going in multiple states. I'm waiting to see what the judges will rule in those cases. It's important that we have currently a case which I filed on behalf of presidential electors and presidential candidates. This case was filed in the Eastern District of California, and it is before the chief judge of the district, Judge Morrison England. And I just recently filed a motion for TRO, which is temporary restraining order, whereby the defendants include the U.S. Congress and the President of the Senate, Joseph Biden. And according to TRO, I'm seeking to stay and enjoin certification of votes, confirm the popular vote, because I would like to send copies of the pleadings, not just to the U.S. Attorney's Office, but also to senators and congressmen. And because, as you know, we have 535, it's a lot of work. The complaint has 108 pages of exhibits showing forgery in Obama's documents, which contain multiple affidavits. The evidence is overwhelming. So I need the public to help me send those documents to their congressmen, their senators, call, fax, email, and demand that they do not commit treason against the United States of America, that they do not just confirm him on January 6th without holding a hearing. And according to the U.S. Constitution, it takes only one senator and one state representative. If you have one senator and one state representative, you can hold such hearing and you can hear the case on the merits. Let's not forget that we had Watergate and Nixon was reelected. People have spoken, they elected and re-elected Richard Nixon. However, 6 months after he was re-elected for his second term, he was forced to resign or be thrown out of office. And the same thing is happening to Obama. Keep in mind, Obama forgery gate is Watergate on steroids. Many more people are complicit, and the crimes that have been committed are much more serious. Please read at the top of the page. There are links to all the pleadings, complaint, exhibits, motion for TRO, forward to each and every congressman and senator. My email address is there. All of my information is there. My phone number is there. So contact me. Forward to me, please, copies of your certified mail receipts showing that you send the documents, copies of your fax receipts. Now we have a couple of weeks to move on with this campaign. This is the most important issue we would ever tackle in our lives.
Orly, I wanted to ask you, at the end of this, eventually some courts got to hear you, but if all the courts turn you down, what will that mean then?
I will continue fighting. There are a lot of courts in the country. We have a lot of different actions. For example, I have a case in the state of Mississippi where, aside from regular causes of action for declaratory relief and injunctive relief, I have a multiple causes of action for RICO, racketeering. What I'm saying that Barack Obama, his financing organization, Obama for America, the lawsuit, officials in Hawaii and in federal government engaged in racketeering. They have colluded in defrauding 314 million American citizens by uttering forged documents.
Orly, did you accuse him of the RICO Act?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. The case is in the state of Mississippi.
And all these documents are on your website, is that correct? www.orlytaitzesq.com. And my next question is, why aren't you working together with the birthers, since they are such an active group and they also have the same thing in mind?
There is a group which is a birthers. As a matter of fact, if you read newspaper articles in most mainstream media, they are calling me the queen of the birthers, the leader of the birther movement. This is not an official birther movement. Read my website. If you go on my website, you will see 35 million reader visits on my website. And let me tell you, there were some 200 different lawsuits filed, and those were filed by over 40 different attorneys, and several hundred pro se litigants joined, sometimes several joined in the same lawsuit. And at this point, I have 7 lawsuits going.
Well, I thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
I thank you so much, Orly, and we'll keep watching. We're always here, available to interview you.
This is Orly Taitz on syndicatednews.net.